What you got for us, dear one?
So I know that you already know what I'm going to talk about, but just for the group, I'm going to put it out there that I've been recently reading up on the Gnostic teachings and the paganism and all that happened BC. And I've read a book by John Lamb Lash called In His Image. And I recently got the 15th anniversary edition given to me by a friend who really wanted me to read it again with the updates on the current world situation and how that applies. So my question for you is, could you speak to us about the aeons, in particular Sophia, and the archons?
Well, you know, for what you're talking about here are ancient belief systems. All right. And Gnosticism works very well with a lot of different things. Gnosticism has a certain viewpoint on religion, spirituality, Christianity. All right. And because it's a Christian offshoot as far as that doesn't make it inappropriate or anything, but also it's only a piece of the dynamic. If you're going to look at Gnosticism, certainly you should look at paganism, but you should also look at alchemy and the dynamics of the energies around alchemy. And so if you want to have a kind of a holistic picture of the dynamic, you take the best if as you read and you begin to understand the three different disciplines, because in a way they're disciplines. If you understand the three different disciplines and realize that they're all aspects of one, right? So we will speak to that dynamic. Now, each in their own way has limitations. And so, again, here's the dynamic. The more that an individual, especially an author, will concentrate on a particular subject, they will get much depth and much meaning. And you can go deep and do deep dives into these dynamics of energy because they have centuries, millennium of belief around them. And so there's the intricacy of the dynamics of the energy. But yet what you realize is that there are certain tenets of logic and reason that they tend to follow. And so Gnosticism, in its own way, we cannot say anything about it other than it has many, 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 many aspects of truth. But they are a truth that were written about, that were created within the dynamics of ancient humanity. And so we do not know about the anniversary edition of this book or anything in those ways. Have you read both?
I read the first one. I just started the second one.
Well, it would be interesting to see how they have upgraded it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
As far as that dynamic of energy goes. And are they trying to fit the belief system in with the truth of what's going on now? Or is the truth of what's going on now reflective in the truth of the belief system?
I understand that there's a lot more about the warrior spirit.
Yeah, here's the problem. Here's the problem.
I haven't read it yet.
Here's the problem. You're slicing and dicing. Okay? The warrior aspect, you all have a warrior aspect. You all have a savior aspect. You all have a victim aspect. You all have a perpetrator aspect. You are all multidimensional in that sort of way. And so if there is a piece of your personality that really interests you, or a piece in the dynamic, a certain subject in reality, then you're going to focus in on that dynamic, and you're overall view of things are going to be limited by the lens that you're looking through. Right? So we would suggest to you, because Gnosticism speaks energetically, emotionally, with an aspect of truth within oneself, that leads to a dynamic of one wishing to, oh, I found the truth. Maybe there's more, and I'm going to go for more, and I'm going to go for more, and I'm going. Next thing you know, you're down the bottom of the rabbit hole, and you're being faced with a multiplicity of choices, a multiplicity of understandings, because your truth has become fractionalized. That make any sense at all to you?
It does.
Right.
It does.
So, but it's the same thing with us. Why do you think that we don't have a ton of books? Why do you
Right.
think we don't do a ton of intensives anymore? You know, if you knew us back in the old days, we were doing 7, 10-day intensives.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes we did them over 2 weeks. You know, where we would split them up and do part one 1 week and part two the next week.
Mhm.
Well, the thing was, because everybody, not everybody, but people take the dynamics and they turn them into belief systems. In other words, instead of you understanding the flexibility and the fact that you are actually creating your reality right now, right now. Right now, you're actually creating the reality you're existing in, the reality you're living in right now. And that movement forward is going to always be the dynamic of the movement forward. So you're taking the things that you learn, and hopefully this is what you're doing with it, and you're adding it to the wisdom of what you already know. Right? If you're doing that, you're doing fine. You know, because we
Yeah.
say explore, follow the things that interest you in that sort of way, because they lead the experience of reading it, the experience of understanding it will lead to wisdom without having to experience the negative pieces of it. Right? This belief system, was it formed by the negative or was it formed by the positive? And you tend to find out that it's a mixture of both.